I was the child from Poland. In my head, always I have big dreams. I remember when I scored 5 goals in 9 minutes. But even after the game, I didn't know what I did. When I joined to Barcelona, I saw that so many young players, and they don't like this behavior. I think what I miss a lot, that just conversation with my father. He died before my first game. When I think about myself, everything what I achieve, I can be proud of myself.
Never fear a storm.
Be ready to adapt.
The skill is staying true to ourselves.
Robert, welcome to High Performance.
Hello.
So, over 1,000 matches, almost 800 goals, 20 years as a professional football player. Do you think your success is more mental or more physical?
I have to say that both. Which is more important? Mentally, I gonna say that is 70% of it. What you need to be on the top, not for 1, 2 or 3 years, but many years. Physically as well, because the football is changing. I think every 5 years that the football change a lot. What I see since I am a football player. And I think if you compare football now and the football 5 years ago or even 10 years ago, it's different. It's completely different. Not only like the tactically things, what you have to do on the pitch, but also off the pitch. When I see now the new generation, that the young talent players that I'm working out every day with 70 years old players, 80 years old players, and I'm 37. Next year I'm gonna be 38 years old guy, as a football. But I see the huge difference, and I have to say on the beginning, for me, when I joined to Barcelona, from Germany, from Bayern Munich, that the club is on every level, like perfectly. Also, the mentality is different, because we had more experienced players, more tough, And when I joined to Barcelona, I saw that so many young players, and I starting to be more tough for them. And then I starting to see they don't like, this kind of like not only conversation but also behavior.
Yeah.
Even that the club tell me on the beginning, try to be, more serious guys, because we need this in this club. We need that the young player learn something, not only on the pitch but off the pitch as well. What you are doing on the gym, how important is working hard every day. And after a few months, I saw it that the young players doesn't like, this behavior.
And who asked you to come in and be this bad teacher?
Before I joined to Barcelona, when I was talking with the people from Barcelona, they tell me, yeah, we need someone like you, that mentality, physically, also is very strong, and show them that to be on the top is not only 1, 2 or 3 seasons, but also what you're doing off the pitch is very important. So I know it that I can do this. But later, when I meet the people, when I show it the culture is different than Germany, I starting learn from them also. Like, to empathy, everything what is around the football, and helps me a lot as well.
Yeah. So you were lacking a bit of empathy, a bit of personal understanding.
Yeah, because I think that I was in different world, different generation. Because when I starting to be the football players, I'm starting to play with the players that were 35 years also. I was 18, and now I am 37, and they have like 60, 70 years old. So it's like almost 40 years difference, So it's for me that if someone talk to me and say, hey, come on, you have to push more harder, that for me is okay. I'm gonna do. And now you have to talk, you have to explain.
This is so interesting.
It's completely different.
Because you learned football from people 20 years older than you.
Yeah.
Someone 20 years older than you is now nearly 60. So you still have in you the mentality of a footballer from 60 years ago. And it's so interesting.
I'm older than father of the players.
Yeah.
I'm older than the father of Lamine, for example. That is like, for me also, it's like, hey, come on. I have to learn from them as well.
Yeah.
Not only that they should to learn from me, but I'm starting to think, hey, I can learn from them as well many things.
Like what?
That when I starting to see that they understand a lot football. I think that many years ago was in that age that the players from Barcelona are now. I think that the players doesn't understand football so much they understand them, now. Because probably we didn't have internet, we didn't have the social media, we didn't have so many programs that we can speak about the football, what's going on, even mentality, physically, psychology as well. Now you have so many things that you can learn. And that time, I think that the young player, they didn't want asking sometimes because they're afraid, because of the generation, And now they're open. They know the words, they know what they want as well. I think that many years ago, the people doesn't know exactly what they can do, what they want to do in their life, not only in the football. And now it's a huge difference.
Is this a healthier culture now in football than it was when you were first coming through, which was a much harder time?
I don't know. Because from one side, if you want to stay on the top for many years, 10, 15, like Cristiano, Leo, Messi, you have to be strong mentality. If you are weak mentality for the long term, I think that it's going to be difficult to stay on the top, especially now. If not only because of the money that you have in football, very in age of 18, 19 or 20 years old. Many years ago, I have to work in few years to get bigger money. Now it's, I think, much more easier, but also everything what you have in the social media, internet, that one day you are here and the next day you are on the ground. So like this that you have emotionally every day so many jump on, jump back makes you also, I think, a little bit more weak.
What do you think that you, Ronaldo, Messi, have got in your mentality that has made the difference? What is the thing that you've tapped into, that they've tapped into?
I think that we had to work much more longer to achieve our goals, to achieve what we want. And from one side, maybe was a little bit easier for us because we didn't have social media. Because I think social media is tough subject, Because if you read everything or if you listen everything about you, yourself, your club every day, it's so many information that in one day that can broke you, And that time we know how it looks words without the social media, and now how looks the world with social media or with television, everything what's going around. And sometimes for myself, I can stay on the side if it's something's too much. And the new generation, maybe they don't know how, because they don't know the words without. And if this is good for them, I don't know yet. Maybe if you're waiting 10 years, then we can speak about this. But I think that for the new generation, it will be tough staying on the top level for the long time.
So when you think back to you now at 37 playing, what are the characteristics you learned at 17 when you first started that are still present?
When I was very young guy, 70 years old, I think that I had the dream, for sure, but I didn't know what does it mean exactly, because of course, I have the dream to play on the big stadium, playing the big clubs, and I know that I have to work very hard. But okay, I'm from Poland, so I didn't have the role model before me that I could, okay, maybe I want to go that direction that my previous player from Poland. So everything what I did, or still what I'm doing, is like I'm trying, I'm check. And sometimes if I see the wall, I know that, okay, it's the wall, but it's not for me that I cannot jump on this or crush the wall. Because, okay, maybe if I see the wall and I'm step back, I will be not in the same place that I am now. I always trying, if I see the wall, okay, I crush them, I was jumping on and I'm going forward, And that was sometimes very, very tough for me because I didn't know what is behind the wall. But I was trying, and I think that helped me a lot.
And where did that come from, that willingness to jump the wall?
I don't know exactly, but maybe I was the child from Poland. I was born in Warsaw, but I was grow up in small city. So in my head, always I have big dreams, But I want to show everyone that it doesn't matter where I come from, that you can achieve your goals, And I tell myself when I was young, so long I'm gonna play football. I wanna do everything for not for 100%, but everything that I can show my best performance, my best skills. Because not because of only of this, because I love this sport, I have passion, but I know it that some days I'm gonna miss this. When I finish my career, it's only one part of my life, and one side of me is already like ready for the second part of my life, but one part say me, so long you can do this for on the good level, try to do this. So, I don't afraid to finish my career because I starting to prepare for finish my career when I was 27, 20 years old. Already I'm starting to prepare things that I can do after the football career because I know it that football is very important part of my life. But football is not all my life, especially now. When I was young, I didn't think about this because I had in my head only football. But now, when I know that I'm very close to finish my career, I don't know, 1, 2, 3 years, maybe 4, I don't know. But I don't have pressure. If one day I feel my body, I feel that something in my head changing and say, I think you start to think about finish your career, then I will be ready for this.
So right now, is the fire inside you as strong as the fire that was inside that young boy?
I lost my father when I was 16 years old, and that was very tough for me. I didn't ready to be a man. And one day, in 1 minute, I had to be the man in my family and in my life. And nobody tell me how to be the man. I have to try, and I think all of my life it depends of trying, of don't afraid to do something. Even that I don't have answer for my question because that time I have so many questions in my head, not only about the football, but about the life, how looks the life. And I couldn't ask my father, and it's always different between connection between son and father and between son and mother. Even the mother is, she trying to do everything, the best what she can. And I appreciate it, but always, some subject that you want to talk with some man. And I didn't have person who can tell me, explain what I can expect in my life, in football, in club, in training session, on everything. So what I said, that was for me very, very tough.
If there was one thing that you would have wanted a father to have told you at 16, what do you wish you would have known?
Now I am the father. Of course, I don't have son, but I have 2 daughters. But sometimes it's difficult to say one advice, to young boy. More important is that you can be with your son, seeing what he's doing, and sometimes give even small advice or just talk with him. I think what I miss a lot, that just conversation with my father. Not about some important subject, of course, yes, but just talk. Because after that I hear that my father is dead, I close for the words, I close for the people, I don't know why, because I was young, I was not enough ready for this. I wasn't enough.
You closed up emotionally?
Yeah, emotionally, yeah, for sure. And especially when I went to Germany, that the people in Germany, they are more also, they are very close because they are focused on work and what they have at home. So I was 12 years in Germany, so I learned from them a lot as well. And I think that the first step that I came to Barcelona and I saw the people, the culture, even the first days that Gavi came to me and hugged me, that was for me, how is it impossible that the players in the dressing room hug me? So with so with empathy, with everything. And I'm starting to think, wow, it's amazing. So I'm starting to learn from them as well.
One thing that we've realized, and we've had hundreds of conversations on high performance, many of them with people who, like you, had a trauma at a young age. And I think often we look at those traumas as things that are bad for us. But just because they're hard for us, it doesn't always mean that they're actually bad for us. And I wonder whether one of the reasons why you're still sitting here today with a fire inside you is because you lost your father, is because you have the memory of him looking at you. And it's on the documentary about your life when he looks at you in front of the Christmas tree and goes, one day you'll be the best striker in Europe. One day you will play in Italy. One day people will know your name. I wonder whether that you have carried that with you in your career.
Yeah, I have to say that every time when I go out on the pitch, that I know that my father see me on the first, the best place in the stadium, and he support me a lot because he helped me. He support me a lot when I'm starting to train with the first professional team. I mean, like even that was the third league, but first professional team. But he died before my first game. So I know it that every first goals in every new team or in the national team that will be for him, and every goals in the first team in Lech Poznan, the national team, then Borussia Dortmund, Bayern Munich and Barcelona, that always was for him, And even I feel till now his support, I know that sometimes if someone doesn't lose someone, from the family, that is difficult what I want to try to saying or explain, but I feel that he's around me, he helped me a lot because he was also the athlete. He was like the judo guy, he helped me a lot with judo. I was training with him so many times at home to judo, but he didn't want that I'm gonna go with this direction to train judo because he knew that it's so tough and it's not, it's like you have only the Olympic, the time for judo, but during these 4 years, you have competition, but not so important for the people. So he knew that for me, that the different sport will be much more better. But I have so many opportunity to. My mother was volleyball player, my sister as well. Even my wife was karate, But I have to say that I think the football chose me. Because when I was 3 years old, or 4 years old, I saw the pictures that I already had the football ball in my hand. And I did so many different sports. Even I was running for 1 kilometer, 1.5 kilometers. I won every the tournament. But what I want to say, I was so nervous before that I know that I cannot do this. But only football gives me like the pure happiness, without stress, without nothing. And I think because of this also that I know that the football is going to be what I want to do.
Your father sounds an amazing man. What are the characteristics or the qualities that you see in you on a football field that reminds you of him?
After so many years, of course, you want to remember just the good things. When I thinking about my father, he's like the real man. He was big, he was very strong. Even I remember when he had also a lot of respect of friends, of people. Even at the place where we are living was very dangerous, And when I met some people from them, and he knew that I am son of my father, directly started, oh, okay, you have our respect, and we protect you. Don't worry, nothing happens. So that's everything. What this kind of things, when I heard that, means that my father was like, of course, he had the problems, like with his life, with his emotion as well, because so long he was fit, healthy, he was strong. But when he got some problems, healthy problems, I saw it that he starting be, not motivated anymore. He got more weights. He starting to drink a lot of beers, alcohol as well. And I remember him before and after. So long he was healthy. In my head, I still see him like he was running, a lot. But after he was like more guy who was sitting on the couch or the sofa, drinking beer, And it's like I think that he couldn't fix his problem, mentality or even healthy problems. And from one side, I was too young to help him because I didn't know how. I didn't know that he has this kind of problems. But from another side, it's like he was responsible for this. And I don't, it's this, and that many years ago, even I know something was tough to help, this mentality, physically, psychology as well, things to help your family. Now will be different because I know what does it mean. I know how hard it is for the people with the small problems. Because we are talking sometimes for the football players, they have expectation. That so many people thinking on also the places there are a lot of problems. Even that so many players doesn't speak about this, but that's why you have to be very strong. But how to be strong? Nobody can tell you. Nobody can teach you because you cannot read this in the book. Because how many players, how many people know that, you can read a lot about the psychology, about mentality, but so long you are not in this position, that not belong to you, is tough to learn to know it.
On High Performance, I've sat down with CEOs, top athletes, world-class experts, and no matter who I speak to, one thing keeps coming up in our conversations. Sleep is the foundation of everything. And actually, for me personally, the more that I juggle work and family and life, the more I see they're actually totally right. If I don't get enough sleep, I feel I'm not present for my kids. I don't think I'm as sharp as I could be at work. Getting my sleep right is not a luxury for me. It's actually the thing that I believe keeps me going. And that's where Simba comes in. Simba use real sleep data. And they've designed hybrid mattresses that support your spine, reduce motion from your partner, and actually help you stay cool throughout the night. It's all about deeper, uninterrupted sleep, the kind that actually fuels your recovery, your focus, and your performance. And their innovation has earned them over 100 sleep awards and 6 Which Best Buy titles across their range. This is their hybrid pillow. This is created to help you achieve your best night's sleep. And they will offer you a 200-night no-quibble trial, a 10-year guarantee, and next-day delivery straight to your door. Simba is the world's most 5-star reviewed mattress brand, but if it doesn't work for you, you just get your money back, completely risk-free. I think that you don't realise how much better you could be sleeping until you try a Simba. Shop now at simbasleep.com/high performance. There's a moment every evening where I look at the kids and I look at the work that I still need to do and I look at the week ahead of me and I realise that basically recovery from Monday to Friday is not something that I get to schedule. I need it to happen in the background, basically, while life keeps on moving forwards. And this is one thing that has helped me to achieve it. This is called Vitals by Heights. And inside these capsules are 20 essential nutrients, including omega-3 DHA for brain power, all the Bs for energy and vitamin D3. And this is formulated and tested by scientists and dietitians. Long days, early mornings, back-to-back records, late-night projects, some kids' parties at the weekend, maybe just going out for dinner with my friends has to fit in there as well. Whatever it is that's taking up the hours in each week, Vitals just keeps me sharp and ready to go for each one of those moments. And by the way, this is ridiculously easy. It takes about 6 seconds, but you will feel the benefits all day long. 2 tablets with some water. Join the thousands of people sorting their health out. Just go to heights.com/Jake or enter code HP20 at checkout for 20% off your first month.
So tell us then, Robert, when you've spoken a lot about psychology and mentality, and you've said that 70% of your incredible career has been down to the mental side. What would you tell us are the most important psychological elements?
In my life, I never listen people from outside. Of course, sometimes it's good to listen to people from outside, but if you listen too much, not only bad things, but also good things. Or for example, I starting to see when I even read good things about me after the game, 1, 2, 3 games. For the next game, that makes me more weak. Really. Of course, nobody wants to read bad things also. But and I remember when I scored 5 goals in 9 minutes, and during the game, I was pissed off of Pep because I didn't play from the beginning that I could. Even that I was a little bit injured, but I don't know why, but in my head, I should to play from the first minutes. So I was pissed off and I came to the second half. I scored 5 goals in 9 minutes. But even after the game, I didn't know what I did. I was in some different words, I was so focused to score for 1-1, then 2-1. Okay, if then for 3-1, and okay, if I can, then I can score the next one. Even I remember one, the situation after the game that Thomas Müller pushed me to the fans. Hey, celebrate with the fans, and why? We won the game. Okay, important game because we were fighting to the first place in the Bundesliga, but I didn't realize why. What do you want from me? Yeah, I'm scoring. We won as a team, not only me.
Yeah, but you knew you'd scored 5 goals in 9 minutes.
But that time I didn't know.
How did you not know?
I know that I score goals, but I didn't know what does it mean. Even the next game, we have the open train for the fans. I came out, and I don't know how many, 2,000 fans. I don't know how many fans was on the training. They're starting, to do it. I don't know why. What's happened? We won the game. Okay, I scored the goals. And even that time. And I remember that I found the solution that I don't want to read nothing about this game, about me, because 3 days later we had Champions League. I score 3 goals. 3 days later, we had Bundesliga, I scored 2 goals. And 3 days later, we had, I think, Champions League again, or some games, or maybe Bundesliga again. And in 4 games, I scored 12 goals. And I didn't read nothing about myself. And that was like the first test in my life. I didn't want, because I was so focused of next challenge.
But why was seeing positive information about you making you weaker?
Because I started to think, if I read too much about myself, amazing, brilliant information, that, I will be too much relaxed.
Yeah.
And first time that I starting to thinking about what I did in these 5 goals in 9 minutes, I remember till now, was the Christmas time. Because that was the first time that I was like more relaxed with my family. And I understood that I remember till now, that I was on the table with my family, and I was like, oh fuck, I know what I did now, what I achieved, And I remember that was like 3 months later, 2.5 months later.
Yeah.
And I had in my vision, like, corridor that I want to do the best what I can. So I don't want lose time for thinking about this. And, it's like the emotional in football is also very important. Even that you read the bad things, that now is the opposite side. If you read too much, because the fans or someone even that doesn't know you talk about you, or starting to write what is the best for you, if you are not strong, or if you read this too much also, it's like so many players are with these problems, Okay, sometimes you can handle this, but not for the long term. And I'm starting to working on my mentality, psychology as well, because I know that the psychology in my life always was the most important things. Because even that I finished my career, I don't want to have the problem psychology, but it can happen, because you're gonna miss something. Every day you waking up, you go to the training, you have plan who since 20 years, I think 30 years, because I started playing football when I was 8 years old, and I'm 38, so almost 30 years, someone did the plan for you. You have to be on the training at that time, you have to be on the game that time, and after so many years, you have to do it yourself. So I know that will be tough sometimes for me, but I in my life, always the main point was the psychology for myself, for my family, or people around me, the most important thing. That's why even though I choose to do something, I choose it because of the psychology things that can help me, not opposite sides. Even that so many people don't understood this.
And your daughters are very young, but what do you say to them already to help them to try and create the mindset that you've got?
I'm starting to talk with them. Of course, we have the subject in the school now, and I know sometimes I'm trying to be. I'm from between me and my wife. I am the guy who is a little bit more tough to them, but because I know that the life is not easy. It doesn't matter that you are a football player or you are going to some company to working. It doesn't matter because you have to be. You don't have to be, but it's better that you are ready for the real life. And I'm trying to explain them so many things that what important in the life is,
What's the one thing you'd love them to understand?
The respect. I'm trying to always and I had the last week, even the conversation with my oldest daughter, and she's 8 years old. And I'm starting hearing that she's starting using the words probably from the school for the different kids. But she doesn't know what does it mean. And also starting to talk about me, and I'm starting to talk with my daughters that it's not important, what your father's name is or who I am, who is your father. More important is that you have to respect every parents, every father, because it's not important what you have at home. It's more important what you take out for your home. And I starting to speak with her, to explain her how words looks or what's gonna be, even that she's going to be 18, 20, 30 years old, that, okay, I know that the next months or years is going to be more conversation like this, but I'm slowly start to explain her so many I can.
I mean, I love the role that you're playing in your daughters' lives. I'm interested in who filled that gap as a father figure for you after your father had passed away.
In our home, also my wife had the problem with father because her father left the house when she was 14 years old. So we talk a lot about this, and she told me that so long he was at home that for the daughters, father is like the hero, and she lost his father when she was in the age that she needed him as a lot, and also she explained me how important is what I'm doing at home, how it's gonna be important father for them, not only now but even later, more important, because daughters, they trying to find someone like father so many times in the future, as the boyfriend or maybe the husband. And I don't wanna try to tell them that everything what I'm doing is perfectly, because I'm not perfectly. I'm not doing always the best things or perfectly things. But more important is that she has to listen her voice. It doesn't matter what the people saying in the school, what the kids saying in the school. I'm trying to tell her also that listen your heart and try to find the best way that will be the best for you, not for someone else. And it's also tough because she's very emotional. The youngest is more as me, she doesn't care too much about what's going on around, but the oldest one, she's very emotional. So I know that's also important to take care of her, but also I'm not trying that we as the parents too much take care of her. She has to know it, what she has to do in the future for her. Also that we'll be not living with her all life. It's normal that someday she came and, Daddy, I want to leave, and I say, okay, if you are ready, I can help you. But now you have your own way, and you have to be ready for this.
But you've spoken about you wish that you'd been a little bit more arrogant yourself when you first started playing football. How did you learn to cross that line between arrogance and confidence, and who helped you?
I'm trying to find my way alone, Sometimes I didn't know. I just tried. And of course, I never was like arrogant. Of course, I was the striker. So on the pitch, I was so many times egoistic, that I know that I have to be thinking about myself, but because that can help not only me, but that things can help also my teammates, And even now, I have to say that my position, I can compare with the position of goalkeeper, because we are playing with the team, but how we should to train different as the rest of the teammates, because even that you play some games, how many touches you have as a striker and how many touches as the midfield players or defender. It's completely like you have maybe 20% of all touches during the training session, and the midfield 60 and 30% or 40% also has defenders. So every training session you have less touches, So if you 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month, 2 months, so doesn't mean that your teammates doing like 1,000 in 1 week, or I don't know how many, and you're doing 200 only touches. So it means that you need the extra exercise or the different exercise. And even that during the game, I was trying to thinking different, the teammates, trying to figure out how to score the goal, how to be one step quicker, faster than my opponent, And if you are in the box, sometimes you're doing the things not thinking about these things, just automatically. You're doing that because you train this, because you have in your blood, because not of that you had only 20 touches in the game, because you're doing the exercise extra, And in the end, you have to thinking more, about yourself than your teammates because of that position. But because if you want to take out the best what you have inside, not only in the head, but also in the legs, that helps you a lot.
Tell us about the importance of hard work then, because we talk so much in football about natural talent or natural ability. But I get the impression with you that you've also had to force a lot. You know, you lost your dad at a young age. A year later, you get released and you get badly injured when you're released by Legia Warsaw. You then go right back to the very lowest rung of Polish football and fight your way back up. And then you end up moving to Dortmund and fight your way to win over the fans after a difficult start there. Then you go to Bayern and you have to fight to show you're a Bayern player. Then you come to one of the biggest clubs in the world and fight to show that you deserve to play at Barcelona. I think your career is littered with hard work, self-belief, but also fight.
So I am the fighter, yeah?
Do you think you are?
Yeah, I think you have to be. You have to be. If you don't fight, you cannot achieve everything what you want. Okay, you can achieve some goals, but I think in my way, if I don't fight for myself, I will be not in the same place that I am. That's for sure. I don't know, because I am the fighter because of my situation, my history in my life, that I lost my father, that I was injured I was 70 years, in 70 years in Legia Warsaw, that I finished my contract, so I was without the club after injury, that I couldn't even run for 100%. I remember till now that my legs was like still behind because my muscles was so weak. But still, I believed myself. Of course, I knew it that that everything what I'm doing because I want. And if that time I listen to the people around, probably I'm not in the same place and we are not talking now.
You would have walked away if you'd have taken advice.
Yeah, probably. Because at that time I had two ways, maybe to finish with the football or to show everyone that did the big mistakes. And I choose this way, because I know that even I was young, I have from my eyes the picture that you see that one group going in that way because everyone's going and one guy going in the left, And after so many years, I can tell you that I am this guy, to go the different
So were you
way.
born with this self-belief?
I think, yeah, because when I was young and, some group, especially that you are in the school and, your friends, everyone tell, oh, come on, we are going and we are doing this. And, that because of depression, in so many people doing this because of the group, because so many people tell you, and I'm always was this guy, no, I don't want, no, I don't do this. I'm going that way. Even that day was angry and so many times, of course. But in the end, I know that is best for me, not from someone. And I think that maybe I'm born with this, or maybe I learn, even that I don't know from who or from where.
There's a conversation that you recount you had after a 3-0 defeat against Marseille with Jürgen Klopp, where in your words you said you had a conversation that, unlike one you'd had since your father had died. Would you tell us about it?
that conversation, of course, that was very important conversation for me. But I was like 1 year in Germany, maybe in 3-4 months. So I didn't speak too much. I was speaking German, but not fluency that could speak about so emotional things in German. But we were speaking about 2 hours, Even that I didn't understand him a lot. For me, more important was like that I had conversation like maybe with like my father. And for me, was important his impression, just to see in his eyes, in his face. I saw that he believed in me, He believed me. He knows that I am a good player, that even I didn't understand what he want from me, because I came to him and asking, Jürgen, what do you want from me? Because I don't understand why you want that I'm playing like that, or, tactically, everything, And after 2 hours, I understood that I miss this kind of conversation since years with my father. And even I cannot tell you everything what he told me because I didn't understand. But what more important was that I saw someone like big guy, that looks not, I want to say similar, but in the same shape as my father. And I found it something that maybe I missed since years because I lost my father. And I remember that we play Champions League on Wednesday, and Saturday was the game Bundesliga, and we won 4-0 against Augsburg, I think, and I scored hat-trick and assist. I had an assist, So that was the first game that I pushed myself and I show not everything, but I show my skills, the first game. And after this conversation, after these games, everything in my life, in my career is going up.
Do you think that you emotionally closed off after the loss of your father? Do you think in that conversation with Jürgen Klopp, he managed to unblock some of that emotion?
For sure. He unblocked me in some case. I don't know which, I don't know what exactly.
And although you don't understand the whole conversation,
no.
What do you understand he said that lit you up, that made you understand, that unblocked you?
Believe. I think that I saw his face, like what he had in the eyes, that he believed that I am the guy who can not only score a lot of goals, but who can be one of the best, And of course, I understood few things, but what most important things in this conversation, what I take it out, was that just things inside emotionally. I think that everything what we talk about the football for me wasn't important. Most important, but that he talked to me like the man who is talking with the son. Of maybe for me, from my side, for Jürgen for sure not, but from my side that was like that. And I think that he unblocked my, I want to say not talent, but he unblocked that
Freedom?
Freedom. Oh, I think the freedom, yeah. And because before I heard so many times from the people from the Dortmund, because the first season was tough for me, the language, the culture, everything, the training session, the intensity of the training session was tough because I want to show I am the guy who can do everything and I show you that I can do this. But it was too hard, and then one game I missed some situation and etc. was difficult. And I think that this freedom give me I want to say that they tell me so many times, if you show us in the game 70% of your performance in the training session, for us will be enough. But I couldn't in the game, And I think after this conversation, I give them the best what I had.
In our conversations on high performance, we often talk about the small, consistent habits that create lasting results. And when it comes to wellness, that consistency can be hard to maintain because we're all busy. We're juggling work, life, family, everything in between, which is why Bond Charge exists, to make wellness simple, effective and easy to build into everyday life. Look, we all know it's easier to stick to a habit that fits into your routine, and that's what makes the Bond Charge red light face mask so effective. It uses red and near infrared light to help your skin recharge and recover. Just wear it for 10 minutes a day while you're winding down in the evening. It's light, it's portable, fits comfortably on your face, bringing real science-backed results to your daily routine, no matter how busy life gets. Bond Charge are global leaders in wellness innovation, creating tools for sleep, recovery, wellness, self-care, all engineered for real results. If you want a discount, just head to bondcharge.com and use code HP15 to save 15% on everything at Bond Charge. I think most fans have said at some point, one day I'm going to follow a World Cup. It is the ultimate bucket list trip, right? It's certainly on my bucket list. And if you're going to do it, Seattle is the place to make it happen in 2026. Now, one of the things that I love about Seattle, and I've traveled all around the US, is how walkable and compact the place feels. So the stadium sits right next to downtown, so you can step out of the match and straight into the city's buzz. The weather is perfect for football. Those mild summer days that the city's famous for will make all the games feel enjoyable. Nature is everywhere. There's gorgeous waterfront views, breathtaking mountain backdrops. Honestly, this is like an American city where the outdoors always feels within reach. And when it's time to refuel, Seattle also delivers fresh seafood at Pike Place Market, world-class coffee, craft beer, and a wine scene that rivals the best. You can then cap off your day with skyline views from the Space Needle or sunset over Puget Sound. This isn't just a World Cup trip. This is an experience that you would never forget. If you want to discover more, go to visitseattle.org and start planning your perfect summer of football. You're very interesting because often when people are really successful, they want the world to understand the way that they think. But you're someone who's very successful, but I get the impression that all you want to do is find out from other people. What do you think? What do you know? And I wonder whether we could talk a bit about some of the managers you've worked with and the biggest lesson that you learned from each one. So maybe starting with Jürgen, the biggest lesson that he taught you.
When I think about the Jürgen and what he gave me, what he teach me, that this mentality that the Jürgen was very impressed. He was like the guy who from one side he can hack you, like a father, like an uncle, but from other side he was like the bad teacher. And I was very young, so for me that was very good lessons, in this time. And that's true that in my life, the football career, I want to take everything each of the coaches, they have the best. From Jürgen Klopp, from Pep Guardiola, Carlo Ancelotti, that Jupp Heynckes, Nagelsmann as well, of course in Barcelona, Hansi Flick, or even in Bayern Munich as well, because I know that I'm the guy who love to teach, to not only because of the football, but because of my life. I had the good conversation with the people, like the presidents or owner of the clubs, about the club, about what's going on off the pitch, For example, Borussia Dortmund as well, with Aki Watzke, we had so many conversations, but in Bayern Munich that you see that the club, they, how they manage the club is everything like Germany, the Ordnung, that everything's going perfectly line. And now in Barcelona, they had so many financial problems that how they try to fix it is very interesting. It's so tough, but it's very interesting. And I think I can take so many things from the football, also in the business things, and for the future, for example. Or, it's like if you are talking about the coaches, like, of course, Jürgen Klopp was the guy, even that I talk with him, like I see that pure love, that everything what he tried to speak is like pure, and he doing that because of what he had in the heart. But Pep was like the tactically coaches who can change your mind, to change your thinking about the football. And of course, he was like as a man, sometimes tough, difficult for the players. Not for me.
Too tactical?
I think that the Pep he give you 110%, but he wanted from you as well 100%. And I think that not everyone was ready for this. Because, you have some players that they want to enjoy the football more. They are not ready mentally to give someone so many, For me, it was easier because I was ready for this, mentality, not only physically, but mentally as well. And Pep is, I don't know, now after so many years, he changed maybe, If you talk now with the City players, maybe they told you that maybe it's not the same Pep as 8 years ago or even 10 years ago, for sure. Because when I see that how they playing, that he has to change as well. But, it's like I'm appreciated that I met so huge, not only names in my football way, but also amazing people, like the personality from the beginning, because of them, now I'm here where I am. Of course, I know it that I remember one conversation with Pep, and he told me, I can help you to build up how that you got the ball in the box, but don't listen nobody who tried to tell you what you should do to do the ball, because you are the best, you know better than me, and you know that. Don't listen another coaches to try to, you have to run the first post, you have to run there. No, I know that you know better for everyone in the world, so listen yourself. And that was for me, how is possible? Always I was listening to the coach, what they tell me, and after he also changed my mind. And because, the striker, sometimes if you see the game, that so many things, no, he should run there because like everyone should to run the first post. But I see the football or this situation in different way, because I know that defender is easier if he waiting that I'm running the first post. So sometimes it's better to waiting or change the position with someone who attack from the second line. And yeah, that's true that later I didn't listen to much coaches, About only not tactically things, about what I should to do in the box, and I had so many right about what is better way, what is better for me in this situation for the team as well. Of course, I need so many conversations with my teammates to know it. That if I'm going that way, that you have space, you can attack the space where it's free, and then maybe if you got the ball, you are alone. Of course, and Bayern, that was working very well, and Barcelona as well. In the beginning was maybe tough, but after when they understood the players' teammates, that I'm this kind of player that likes attack in this situation first post, but in this situation second post. That is easier for the whole team.
And what about Carlo Ancelotti?
Oh, he gave me so many self-confidence, He came to Bayern and the first season that everything's working very well, And he's starting to talk with me. He's starting to give me some advice that I should to do the free kick, that he believed in me, that I can do this. And he gave me a lot of self-confidence, And I saw it that after this, I scored the first, maybe not first, but I starting to scoring the goals from the free kick, then penalty as well, and some kind of situation that I took responsibility for the team. He helps me a lot.
I would like to talk to you about the Ballon d'Or moment, because I think the way you've dealt with that has been you understand the word magnanimous, the English word, you've accepted it. How have you accepted it? Because for so many people, it feels very wrong.
When I heard this conversation question, then I starting to understand that was some big, I don't want to say mistake, but big, that the Ballon d'Or, that the gala wasn't happen, But from me, I don't think about this, nothing, really. Only when I got this question, I started thinking, okay, I should to win maybe it's so many things, so many people talking that I should to win, but what I can do, it's like that was a few years ago. I won 2 times in the row the best football in the world, So for me, for the guy from Poland, winning FIFA the best player in the world 2 times in the row, it means a lot. But of course, like for the image, like for the show, Ballon d'Or is always like because it's more gold,
Yeah.
But in the end, I don't have that. I'm sleeping bad or I'm thinking about this. No, but if I got this question, something big because so many people asking me about this. But what I can do? Nothing, And then later 2021, I lost. I was second and I lost with Leo Messi. It means a lot that I was the guy, the competition between me and Leo Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. I was in this area very close, and sometimes I won against them, like the FIFA, 2 times, the best player in the world. Okay, Ballon d'Or, I wasn't in the first place, but in the end, doesn't change my mind about my career, my football way, Ballon d'Or, okay, for the media, for the journalists, big things, but not for me. It's like that doesn't change my life.
One thing that's interesting, though, is this was a battle of you against Lionel Messi. And you're good friends with Novak Djokovic, yeah?
Yeah.
I often look at his career and I think there's Novak. And he's always had Roger Federer and Rafa Nadal winning things and just pipping him. And I then look at your career and I think you've always had Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, just that tiny edge. And I often wonder what his career and your career would look like without those people in the way.
I think that the Cristiano and Messi helped me a lot, because I'm trying to achieve not the level, but what they achieve with the goals, with the titles. And, that motivated me a lot. On the beginning, I didn't even, I wasn't dream to be so close to fight with them, to win some titles. And in the end, I won over them, It means like, wow. When I think about this, when I'm looking back, it means a lot. Of course, I cannot tell you that I was the better player than them, but I could compare with them with some, even 2 years in the row. I remember like I was me, Cristiano, and Leo Messi, and between us was who's gonna win, And the next year I think that between me, Leo Messi as well, and maybe I don't know that Cristiano as well was there, but even that I was there, not 1 time, but 2 times. This means wow. I was in their world, in their table, so close. And it means a lot for me. I don't want to say that I was much more better player or I was better player than Cristiano Messi. Of course not. But this means a lot that I could be competition guy with these big names. And, and it's like, amazing.
I think a good lesson from your life as well for people is you only really seem to want to control the things you can control. You can't control the Ballon d'Or. You can't control the success of Cristiano and Leo. But you can control your own work ethic and your own self-belief, and you can control not living with regret. Is that fair?
Yeah, I think when I think about myself, everything what I achieve, I can be proud of myself. I don't want to compare my way to Leo Messi, to Cristiano, or the different players, because everyone from us, starting from the different level, from different situation, with everyone from us has the different problems, But when I looking up and I'm seeing all titles, everything what I achieve, I can be very proud of myself, and I can go in my head up.
The boy from Poland did good.
I think very good.
But given that you are in the same company as Cristiano Ronaldo and Leo Messi, what is the one thing that you think distinguishes elite talent like you guys from other footballers and from the rest of the population?
Yeah, I can speak about myself, because I know I don't know exactly what Leo and Cristiano. I know maybe, but I cannot talking for them. But for myself, I know it that it doesn't matter how good you play the last game. The most important is the next game. And in football, we have so many games, and expectation is very high. Not only on the pitch, that 80,000. I don't know, maybe more fans looking on you, but the people on television, to look into television. Also, it's different if you play for the club, but different if you're playing for the national team, But it's for the football player to stay on the top is tough, Not only because of the expectation, but also you have to be ready always. Because if one game you don't play well, then the people start talk. You had the bad performance. Okay, can happen, but you have so many games that you have to think about recovery, because if you don't think about recovery, the next game you're gonna be more tired. If you're gonna be more tired, then you're gonna start in thinking slowly. If you're starting slowly, then your legs starting run slowly. If your legs starting slowly, then you cannot score the goal. And of course, the kind of different position, because striker, so many people knows that you play well or not, because if you score, then good. If not, then bad. It doesn't matter that you did amazing job. And this kind of things are sometimes good, because if you score the goal, even that you play bad, then it's fine, But in the football, of course, for the strike, it's important that your head, that everything what you had, that also you are ready for the game, not only physically but mentally. Because even that you feel well, your body physically well, but mentally, you cannot score the goals. Maybe you can score one goals, can happen next game. But to scoring goals almost every games, it's not only because of your skills, more is because of your mentality. And I remember when I scoring 69 goals in 1 year, in 50 few games, 55, I think, that I did the same level as Cristiano Ronaldo, the best season, And Cristiano, when you are looking back, that he was scoring 91, the best year, he scored 91 goals. It's like, wow, I'm there. Yeah, I'm 69, and it's like before the game that even is not important for the team or for you, because if you win, if you lose, doesn't happen. But for the striker, it's very important, because if you're gonna score, maybe you're gonna break some record. Maybe you're gonna win some titles in the end, And you cannot be ready physically. You have to always ready also before the game mentality for the striker, because it's not like that we go on the pitch and we are just playing. If I play pass, if I change the side, diagonal ball, that will be fine. No, the strike has to be always ready in every seconds. You cannot start thinking, okay, in the second half I'm starting to be more focused. sometimes it's too late. You have to be ready before the game, and you cannot starting like 1 hour before the game. After the game, for me, after the game, I already started preparation for the next game.
And what is the cost of living a life like this for so many years?
Maybe you have to ask my wife or my friends. But of course, it's not easy. It's not easy because everything what you are doing at home is because of football.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I was so many times so tired. So I was always thinking I have to come back to home because in 2 days we have another game. So I have to be ready. I cannot walk somewhere. I cannot go somewhere because I was starting thinking if I rest at home well, then I will be ready for the game. If I do some not stupid, but normal things that cost me like the power, maybe in the game I miss something, you know. And so many choices I choose in my life was because of the football.
Has the pressure ever affected your mental health?
Yeah, of course, the pressure, especially sometimes, you know, that not only the club, but also national team, so many people believe in you. And you know that because of you, that means a lot, not only for you, but also for the players and also for the fans. And if you're going to play bad, if you don't score the goal, you know, that maybe you don't win the game. If you don't win the game, that maybe you don't qualify to World Cup or to the Europe Championship, you know. And that was, I think, in the national team, the pressure was much more higher than in the club. Also because the expectation was very high, you know, because I was playing the best club in the world. So many things was starting to thinking that we have 2-3 players in the good club, that we are ready to win some titles, you know. And now I think in every nationality, good nationality, you have players that playing in the good league, in the La Liga, Bundesliga, Serie A, you know. So that there's so many people thinking still that if you play away of Poland, that means that you are playing the good club. But now almost everyone is from the national team playing in this kind of good clubs. So it means for me that I came to national team from that time Dortmund and Bayern Munich. I was scoring every goals, and then in national team was more tough to score a goal, you know. Or I scored, but a little bit less. That was starting to people talking, in Poland he don't want, you know, just for the club. And that for me was like, I didn't hit this kind of bullshit, you know, because I didn't play for money for the national team. I didn't play because I could win something, you know, from myself. No, I play for national team because I love my country, because I want it, and because I wanted to give them something, you know, that they can enjoy the happiness. And sometimes the expectation was very high. And, you know, it like for me also was tough. I remember that my expectation also for the teammates in the national team was almost the same level as I was in the Bayern Munich. I had to change that, you know, because I couldn't expect for my teammates in national team the same level as Bayern Munich. I don't want to say to everyone, but, you know, to the quality. And for me, that was also like, okay, I cannot expectation for them that we're going to play the same level as I was in the Bayern Munich, or because for them was tough. And also I pushed them a lot. And I'm starting to see that for so many players was too much. You know, mentality was too much, because I was thinking, if I can do this, so you can do this as well. But wasn't correct, you know. And I starting to, change this, because I don't know, that maybe that was my mistake, but also maybe because I pushed them also that they tried to do the next step, even that they didn't want, or they didn't try, or didn't afraid, you know. But in the end also I learned a lot on this case, because it's difficult from Bayern or Barcelona, you know, and the national team, you are on a different level, but your expectation was in the same level. But I couldn't expect the same from my teammates in national team.
We've reached the time for our quickfire questions.
Okay.
So the first one is, and these you've got to try and answer these short, your best ever game.
Only one?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I don't know the best, but most epic.
Yeah.
The 5 goals in 9 minutes.
Yeah.
For sure, 4 goals in the semi-final of Champions League against Real Madrid. Most epic, for sure. Like, or even, it depends what does it mean. But most epic, directly I can see the World Cup because of the goal. No, but these two directly in my mind. Yeah,
Very good.
What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Thierry Henry told me one story, his story I think, with Arsene Wenger, that after the one game or training session, he came to him and asking what he can do better to be the better football. And Arsene Wenger told him, I can tell you. You have to find out yourself. And I started to think about this, and it's like so good advice. And I think my life was the same. I had to find out my way, what I should to do better, what I should to do the next step. Not that someone tell me. If you don't figure out that, maybe you don't have too much respect for this, that you did this yourself.
And life is so much more interesting when you work it out for yourself.
Okay, sometimes the advice help you a lot. I have to say that if I get this kind of advice earlier, maybe that will be easier in some things. But of course, that the taste in the end is much more better here.
What are the 3 non-negotiable behaviours that you and everyone around you is expected to buy into?
Some always are trying to be honestly, even that for someone was tough because I'm trying to tell the truth, and not everyone wants to hear the truth. But I think honestly, hard work and never give up.
And finally, for people that have listened to this amazing conversation and understand even more about your career, what would you like them to leave thinking about as the one golden rule for living a high-performance life?
Always thinking about your psychology. Because it doesn't matter that you are a football player or you are in your life, private life, that's the most important thing. If you stay healthy, that then the rest, another things, you can fix yourself. So I think psychology or mentality things are the most important, that you have to take care of this.
Robert, thank you very much.